The desperate struggle to break free tells of the cruelty that awaits. It's not just to escape, it's to survive, to stay alive. So many Iranians know all too well the path to which this will lead. A hell on earth for those who dare to dissent. It's the repressive regime's playbook, tried and tested, time and time again. This 29-year-old protester says he was detained this month and endured 4 days of torture by Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps.
Somebody started kicking, punching our stomach area, putting our heads in buckets of water so we couldn't breathe, and beating us with a belt, hose, and electric shockers.
He claims he was coerced into signing a confession saying he was paid by the US, UK, and Israeli governments to, quote, create chaos in Iran. He's been left with minor scars that are healing, but what we don't see may never heal.
Nowadays, I don't have much sleep. I have nightmares most of the time. In my nightmares, I see someone is following me in the dark, and I am alone, and no one is helping me.
And he says the authorities still stalk him.
I received a phone call from an unknown number that I'm active on Twitter. He threatened me and my family, saying if you don't stop, they will arrest me, and that I know what's awaiting me.
It's a pattern of oppression that's played out before. In 2019, the world saw how far the state would go to crush those rising up. Farhad, a father of two, tells CNN he watched several of his friends gunned down on the street back then. Weeks later, the authorities came for him. He says he was dragged from his home in the middle of the night and taken to what he describes as a regime torture chamber for 16 days of horrors and beatings that left him beyond recognition.
We've reviewed some of the horrific photos of Farhad's injuries. To protect his identity, we're not showing those images and his scars. He's had several reconstructive surgeries that have patched his jaw back together. But Iranian authorities haven't left him alone. He says they freeze his bank account at times and call threatening to kill his children and rape his wife.
It's all part of the disturbing playbook that several protesters CNN spoke with have experienced firsthand. They're watched through CCTV cameras and by state-sponsored hackers online. Hunted, tortured, forever stalked and threatened. But that's not stopping the thousands risking it all every day in Iran. Farhad is back out protesting, this time with his children. He knows the cost of defiance, but it's a price he's willing to pay for their freedom.
We asked the Iranian government about these first-hand accounts of arbitrary detention, torture, and harassment of protesters, as well as the widespread violations documented by human rights organizations, but they did not respond to our request for comment. Jumana Karachi, CNN, Istanbul.